All right, guys, welcome back to lesson two. It's the first actual lesson where we'll actually be learning something. Sorry if the audio is horrible. I'll get better audio as soon as possible. Thank you. All right, let's go.
This Latin vocabulary. English and Spanish are two related languages. English is considered a Germanic language, but it's kind of half Latin. We have a huge amount of Latin vocabulary in English. And this Latin vocabulary, we can convert it over to Spanish really easily because Spanish is practically modern Latin. Whoever said Latin is a dead language lied. Just in the same way that Greek is a modern version of ancient Greek, Spanish is like a modern version of Latin. It's actually a street Latin that became Spanish. So we can identify Latin words in English and we can, with just some rule or other, convert them over to Spanish, and this will give us around 3,000 words. I didn't count
3,000.
them, but they are around 3,000 words. So,
3,000.
for example, one of these rules is that words ending in AL tend to come from Latin, so we can make them Spanish. So to give you an example, normal in Spanish is normal.
Normal.
Normal. Normal.
Normal. Good. What do you notice different between normal and normal?
The way it's pronounced.
Well, the accent.
What do you mean by the accent?
Where the sound is stressed.
Good.
Which vowel it's stressed.
Where's it stressed in English?
On the O.
Good. At the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Normal, normal. And in Spanish, we're stressing the end, right?
Yeah.
Normal, normal.
Yeah. Normal.
So if we assume the same happens with other words, how do you think you would say metal?
Metal.
Metal.
Metal. To get a perfect accent in Spanish, we just need to pronounce all of the vowels exactly as they are written. So A, E, I, O, U. In Spanish is A, E, I, O, U. Where
A, I, U, E, O.
in English, the vowel, it can have many different sounds. Like if you look at the A sound in apple or in mare, it's very different sound. But A in Spanish is always going to be A. E is always going to be E. So if we pronounce the vowels as they're written, not these kind of, these English vowels that we get, then we get a perfect Spanish accent.
Normal. Metal.
Perfect.
Normal. Metal.
So we can begin to make sentences with this already. The word for is in Spanish is es. Es.
S. S.
S.
Es.
S.
And this also means it is, she is, he is, or even you are talking to somebody formally. So now we can say he is normal, she is normal.
S normal.
Es normal.
Yeah. Es normal.
S
And you
normal.
pronounced an S, which is excellent. English speakers should beware that maybe they feel
normal.
themselves pronouncing a Z, because many times we have an S in English, like in the word is, and we pronounce a Z. So you might find slipping out es, but this is incorrect. You should be careful to pronounce an S. S. Es normal. Good.
S normal. S normal.
How would you say legal? Legal.
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 Yeah, legal. So how would you say it is legal?
Es legal.
Es legal.
Es legal.
Es legal.
Illegal.
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 Illegal. Good. So here in English, like we have an I and an E producing the same sound. Illegal. The I and the E is producing the same sound. So this is really confusing if you want to learn English. But in Spanish, you're not going to have these problems. The I is like in ink, and the E is like in elephant. Illegal. Illegal. So it is illegal.
Es illegal. Es illegal.
Es ilegal.
Good. Es ilegal.
Es ilegal.
What if you wanted to say he is liberal? You don't need the
Es liberal. Es liberal.
word for he. If you know who you're talking about, you can just use es.
Es liberal.
Yeah, es liberal. Now, Spanish is much more phonetic than English. What that means is that the letters are going to represent the same sound, where English has a million rules and a million exceptions to those rules. And I mean, it's really hard even for native English speakers often to understand how to pronounce a new word when they see it written. But you're not going to have that problem in Spanish. So you know natural, and you don't just want to change the accent and say natural. This is not Spanish. You want to think how is it written and pronounce the letters as they are. So how do you think you would say natural in
Natural. Natural. Natural.
Spanish?
Natural.
Natural. Good, that's a T. So you pronounce a T. A is like A, U is like U. Natural. Very good. And the accent on the end as well. It's natural.
Es natural.
Es natural.
Es natural. If you want to say it isn't or it's not, the word for not or don't is the same as the word for no. And the word for no in Spanish is the same as the word for no in English.
No.
But you pronounce it like it's Spanish.
No.
So how do you think you say no in Spanish?
No.
No.
No. Good. And you put this before is, if you want to say it is not, he is not, she is not, you formal are not. So how would that sound? It is not.
No es.
No es.
No es. Good. So now we
No es. No es. Yeah, so this is how I'm writing down my notes. I'm not gonna translate it. I'm just gonna write it in Spanish. If I'm confused, I'll figure it out. But this is just to keep track of where I am in my learning, you know. So this is how I'm gonna be writing down notes. Because if I translate every single thing, it's gonna take like a long time, you know. So I'll just do it like this.
can say things like it's not normal.
It's not normal. No es normal. No es normal. No es normal.
No
Yes.
es normal.
No es normal.
No es normal.
How would you say ideal? So really think about how it's
Ideal. No es normal.
spelled and try and pronounce each of those vowels as they are written. I like ink,
Ideal.
E like elephant, A like apple.
Ideal.
Good. Ideal. How would you say it's ideal?
Es
ideal.
ideal. Es ideal.
Es ideal. It's not ideal.
No es ideal. No es ideal.
No es ideal.
Good. No es ideal. Perfect. How would you say fatal?
Fatal. Fatal.
Fatal.
Fatal. Good. Natal?
Natal.
Natal.
Natal. Good. Colonial?
Colonial.
Colonial.
Colonial. Cultural?
Cultural. 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 Cultural.
Cultural.
So think about how it's written.
Cultural.
Yes. And perfect Spanish accent, huh? Cultural. Very nice.
Cultural.
Annual?
Anual. Anual.
Anual.
Anual. And you cut this Y sound that comes in English. Annual. Annual. This Y sound comes from nowhere in English, and you cut it out because you focused on how it's written. Anual. Very nice. Dental.
Dental. Dental.
Dental.
Tooth in Spanish is diente. So this is
Diente.
coming from dental. So if you look up tooth in the dictionary and you find diente, rather than treating it as like a random piece of vocabulary that you have to memorize, you can relate it back to dental. Oh, okay, like dental, it comes from there. And this is useful for memory. A couple more. Festival.
Festival. Festival.
Festival.
Personal,
Personal.
Personal.
personal. Good. Total,
Total.
Total.
total. Good.
Total.
Verbal,
Verbal. Verbal.
Verbal.
verbal.
Verbal.
So if we wanted to say verb, we might not have a rule to convert that word over. But if we know verbal is verbal, we can guess that verb is probably going to be the same in Spanish. And most of the time, words are either the same that we don't have a rule. Maybe we need to stick an O or an E or an A on the end, so we can make a guess. How do you think you say verb in Spanish?
Verbo.
Verbo.
Yeah, that's right. So with structure, with the building, when we're going to be making sentences with these words, we don't ever want to guess. We want to take our time and think it through. But with vocabulary, we can happily guess and try. Imagine we said verba, for example, and they would look at us funny and they would go, ah, verbo. And when that person says, ah, verbo, then we learn, oh, okay, this is the right word. And it's the best way to learn quickly. So what was...
All right, lesson 2 finished, which is actually lesson 1, because lesson 1 in the course was an introduction, so this is the actual like meat of the course right now. So okay, lesson 2 completed. We learned that what we learned today was that words that end in al in English, some of them, a lot of them, can be converted to Spanish. They just have to be pronounced properly in Spanish, not like in English. So for example, legal is a word in English, and there's also a word in Spanish, legal, but it's pronounced legal. Okay. And we also learned that if we want to say like it is normal, or he is normal, or she is normal, we can just use the word es for that. So we can say es normal, or if we want the negative version of it, we can use no es normal. So that means he or she isn't normal, or even it isn't normal. All right, thank you very much, guys. See you in the next one.